Every single morning, he carried his net to the lake. He sat at the edge of the water. He watched the surface. He watched other fishermen pull out fish after fish. And then he folded his net, stood up, and walked home with nothing every single day. And the strangest part? He told everyone he was a fisherman. His name was Adam, 26 years old. He lived in a small village near a wide, quiet lake. His father was a fisherman. His grandfather was a fisherman. Fishing was in his blood, or at least that is what people said. Adam had the net. He had the boat. He had the knowledge. Every morning he woke up early, before the sun came up. He packed his things, he walked to the lake, and he sat. Just sat. Some mornings he would touch the water with his fingers, feel how cold it was, watch the ripples move slowly. Some mornings he would hold his net, unfold it halfway, then fold it back again. He told himself, "The water is too cold today. The fish will not come to this side. Tomorrow, I will cast tomorrow." And tomorrow became next week. Next week became next month. 6 months passed. Adam had not thrown his net into the water even once. Not of the fish, not of the work. He was afraid of throwing the net and catching nothing. He was afraid that if he really tried, if he gave everything, and the net came back empty, then what? Then he would have no excuse left. Then the dream would be dead. Right now, as long as he did not try, the possibility was still alive. He could still say, "I have not tried yet. Maybe I am great at this." But the moment he threw the net, the moment he truly committed, the truth would come out. And that truth scared him more than anything. So he kept sitting. Every morning, net in hand, going nowhere. He called it waiting for the right moment. But it was not patience. It was fear wearing the mask of patience. It was comfort pretending to be wisdom. One morning, Adam arrived at the lake earlier than usual. The sun had not yet risen. The water was perfectly still. The world was quiet. He sat in his usual spot. And then he noticed someone nearby. A young boy, maybe 10 years old, sitting at the edge of the water, holding a small, thin stick, a simple string tied to it. No proper fishing rod, no net. Just a stick and a string. The boy threw his line into the water. Waited. After a few minutes, nothing. He pulled it back. Threw it again. Waited. Nothing. He threw it again. And again. And again. Adam watched silently. After about 20 minutes, the boy pulled out a small fish. Not big. Not impressive. But the boy's face. His face was alive. He laughed quietly to himself, looked at the fish, put it in a small bucket, and threw the line again. Adam could not stop watching. Finally, he spoke. "Boy, your rod is so small. Your line is so thin. Do you really think you will catch enough fish with that?" The boy looked at him, then looked at Adam's large, expensive net, the proper fishing boat. The boy said simply, "I do not know, but at least my line is in the water." And then he turned back and threw his line again. Adam felt something move inside his chest. Not a big earthquake, just a quiet crack, like a wall breaking slowly from the inside. At least my line is in the water. 8 words from a 10-year-old boy with a stick. Adam looked down at his net. His perfect, expensive, untouched net. And for the first time in 6 months, he felt ashamed. Not because he had failed, but because he had never even tried. Adam sat there in silence for a long time, and he started to think clearly, maybe for the first time in months. He thought, I have been coming to this lake every single day. I have carried this net every single morning. I have felt the cold water, watched others fish, smelled the morning air, and I told myself I was preparing. I told myself I was waiting for the right moment. But the truth? There is no perfect moment. There is no guaranteed catch. There is no promise that the net will come back full. The boy with the stick knew this. He was not waiting for a better rod. He was not waiting for calmer water. He was not waiting to feel ready. He just threw the line. And that simple action, that small, imperfect, uncertain throw, was worth more than 6 months of sitting with a perfect net. Adam understood something in that moment. Fear does not always look like fear. Sometimes it looks like patience. Sometimes it looks like planning. Sometimes it looks like, I am just not ready yet. But if days are passing and nothing is moving, if you are going to the lake every day and coming home empty, it is not patience. It is fear. And fear, left alone, does one thing. It grows. Adam stood up slowly. He unfolded his net for the first time. His hands were shaking slightly. He walked to the edge of the water, took one breath, and threw the net. It opened wide in the air, spread perfectly over the surface, and sank into the water. His heart was pounding. He waited. 1 minute. 2 minutes. He pulled the net back. It was not full, but there were fish. Not many, but some. And Adam looked at them. These small, real, imperfect fish. And he felt something he had not felt in months. He felt alive. Not because he had caught a lot, but because he had finally stopped pretending. He looked over at the boy, who was already throwing his line again. The boy did not look up, did not say anything. He did not need to. Adam smiled quietly, and he threw his net again. Sometimes the bravest thing you can do is not waiting until you are ready. It is throwing the net into the water when you are still afraid. Because the fish do not wait. And neither does life. Think honestly. Is there something in your life right now that you are calling not the right time, but deep inside, you know it is actually fear? Write your answer in the comments below. Just one sentence. Be honest with yourself. If this story touched something inside you today, like it, share it with someone who needs to hear it, and subscribe to English Learning Tales. Because every week, we bring you stories that do not just teach English, they make you think.